I'm Steve Knight, curator of the Colne Valley Postal History Museum in Halstead, Essex. I started collecting postboxes 35 years ago. I just found one in an antique shop in Cambridgeshire, thought it would look nice in the garden. And today I have 166, plus 2 telephone kiosks and 20 odd stamp vending machines, some bicycles, some uniforms, and literally thousands of other smaller objects. I think they are iconic items of the British street. I'd realised at quite a young age that there were different ciphers on the boxes from different monarchs, going back to Queen Victoria, but I hadn't really taken it any further than that until I actually owned one and then a second one, and I started to really look closely at them. So when I first started collecting, my 1, 2 or 3 postboxes were just outside in the garden on a bench. And then by the time I got to 12, I realised that I really needed to get them under cover, and I'd also acquired a lot of other smaller items as well. And so the shed that I'm talking to you from now was purchased, and it's 8 foot by 8 foot, 56 square feet, and I thought it would take all of the collection and give me plenty of room for expansion. Well, of course, it actually filled up really quickly, and I had to go ahead and build a second one. And the second shed was originally 10 feet by 30, so 300 square feet. I've now had to extend that to 50 feet by 10, so we've got 500 square feet there and 56 square feet here, and I've still got postboxes all over the garden that I really need to get under cover. As a museum, we have a very good relationship with Royal Mail, so if they have a rare box and they're not quite sure what to do with it and they don't have a use for it, then they'll quite often offer it to us, and they've been extremely generous over the years. People get to visit the museum on a regular basis. We have open days normally in September as part of Heritage Open Days each year. That's a national programme that's coordinated by the National Trust, and we like to get people to come through the museum to see that, but both in the 2 sheds and in the garden and even in the garage, where we do a lot of the restoration work. And typically I'd expect to get 100 people on an open day. So over the years, many thousands of people have come through here and seen this collection. It is the largest collection of postboxes on mainland UK that is available to view. The National Postal Museum does have a good collection, but unfortunately they're mostly in storage in a big warehouse outside London, and they're not actually available. There's just a small selection in their central London headquarters which you can go and see. And I say the mainland because my good friend Arthur, a reader on the Isle of Wight, has if not the same number, probably more than I do, but you do need to get the ferry over to see that. If I had to choose one item from the collection as my favourite, it would definitely be the large size Edward VIII pillar box. Edward VIII abdicated at the end of 1936, so it was a very, very short reign, but not before about 120 postboxes had been made, of which 12 were in the large A size. Friends and family have been very tolerant over the years. They kind of understand that this is a major hobby for me and takes up an awful lot of time, and they've been extremely helpful. I guess they think I'm a bit eccentric, filling my garden with post boxes and telephone kiosks. Over the years, many people I've met have formed great friendships with me, and those friends and my family keep a constant lookout on their travels for unusual post boxes, and they're forever sending me pictures. And in fact, I got some pictures from Lincolnshire from a good friend Elaine up there last week, showing the first of the new Charles III lamppost mounted boxes which had been installed about a couple of miles from her house. So that's I haven't seen one yet, but that's great. I know I've got to go and take a look at that. My wife has been fantastic. Obviously she's had to put up with these outside her house for the last 30 years. She does try to grow plants around them so she doesn't have to look at them, but she's been extremely good, and I'm very grateful for the support I've had from her and the rest of the family.